Hello and welcome to this episode of Dread Captures, the ultimate destination for those who seek the thrill of witnessing the unexplained. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you the most compelling and jaw-dropping camera footage we can find. Trail cameras, security cameras, and other recording devices can capture events that occur when no one is around. We have gathered trail camera footage of wild animals, cryptids, paranormal activity, mysterious creatures lurking in the shadows, and strange phenomena that defy explanation. We have it all. Our team of experts scours the internet and beyond to bring you the latest and greatest in the world of wildlife and the unknown. So whether you're a seasoned cryptozoologist, a veteran outdoorsman, or just a curious viewer, buckle up and get ready for an adventure like no other. Now, let's get into the captures. In our upcoming trail cam footage, we venture into the woods during a rainstorm. Picture this. You're trekking through the wet forest when suddenly, something resembling a middle-aged man catches your eye. But on closer inspection, you realize this isn't a man. It's covered in fur. A moment of realization dawns upon you. Could this be a real-life Bigfoot? A mix of fear and adrenaline hit your body. Well, that's precisely what you're about to witness in this clip. Look closely. You can see it moving through the trees. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary man, but it appears to be a creature standing over 7 feet tall. Could this be the genuine Bigfoot? Or is it just someone in a clever disguise? Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. This was captured by a home security system in November 2022. This particular clip made its way to TikTok, quickly catching the attention of many. The footage starts off quite ordinarily. A young girl is engrossed in her computer, chatting away with her dad. As the conversation progresses, the father mentions that he's about to take a shower. He tells his daughter to wrap up whatever she's doing and get ready for bed. However, once he leaves the room, the ordinary scene starts to shift into something quite unexpected and eerie. If you watch closely, you'll notice 2 chairs from the dining room eerily sliding across the floor, seemingly on their own. The movement is sudden and unexpected. The girl, clearly startled by this unexplained occurrence, calls out in alarm to her father and gets up and follows him. From her reaction, it seems evident that she's genuinely terrified. This leaves us with an intriguing question. Was this a simple, albeit elaborate prank orchestrated by someone in the family to scare the young girl? Or did the camera genuinely capture something inexplicable? The footage has undoubtedly left many viewers scratching their heads, wondering about the true nature of the mysterious event they just witnessed. Now, I'm definitely interested in what you guys think about this. I guess it's not totally out of the ordinary to have a camera overlooking your home, but this seems a bit strange to have it directly over your kitchen table. To each their own, I guess. I will say, the girl's reaction seems genuine, so whatever is going on here, whether a prank or not, I don't think she's in on it. Today we examine an intriguing find from Missouri that has captured both the scientific and public imagination. A hiker recently discovered a set of tracks that are unsettlingly similar to human footprints, yet larger in scale. What makes these tracks especially captivating is not just their size, but also their distinct human-like features, leading us to ponder what sort of enormous creature might be responsible for leaving them behind. Given the characteristics of the tracks and their depth in the ground, it's not unreasonable to consider the existence of a large and powerful entity. The obvious name that comes to mind in this context is Bigfoot, or as some refer to him as Sasquatch. Over the years, accounts of Bigfoot sightings and similar tracks have been reported across various regions of North America, including Missouri. These recurring reports invite us to consider whether these creatures are simply living their lives in remote areas, or whether there's a more complex agenda at play. Is it possible they are organizing or even plotting something? While it may sound far-fetched, the questions are hard to dismiss entirely. So, as we mull over this recent discovery, we're left to grapple with its possible implications. Is this evidence of Bigfoot or perhaps another unidentified creature? Could there be a more mundane explanation, like an elaborate hoax or misidentification? And if it is the former, should we be concerned about what these creatures might be up to? I'd love to hear your thoughts on these puzzling tracks. Do you think they lend credence to the existence of Bigfoot, or are you skeptical? In this next capture, we're going on a journey to Canik Chase, a forested area that harbors a deeply unsettling secret. In one particular section of these woods, dolls were found hanging from the trees. And let's be clear, what you're seeing is not a scene from a horror film. It's a real location within Canik Chase. This was a major event and has been covered by many investigators. According to local reports, these dolls appeared seemingly out of nowhere and were arranged in a rather disturbing manner. Adding to the eeriness, a Ouija board was later discovered near the site, only intensifying the atmosphere of fear and dread. Understandably, those who came across this mysterious setting were shaken, and the story quickly gained traction, spreading across social media and other online platforms. The lack of an explanation led to a surge of speculation. Some suggested the wooded area was cursed, while others believed that the dolls were the work of a secretive cult. There was even talk of the area being used for some sort of ritualistic practice. Despite the spread of various theories, no concrete evidence has been produced to explain the dolls' origin or purpose. Over time, the unease surrounding the dolls escalated to the point where people avoided the area altogether, fearful of what might befall them if they ventured too close. Eventually, the situation reached such a height of public concern that law enforcement stepped in. A police officer removed all the dolls and the Ouija board, and since then, no new reports have surfaced. But this brings us to an unsettling question. By removing these mysterious items, did the police officer unknowingly interact with forces beyond our understanding? And what, if any, consequences has the officer faced since that action? Unfortunately, these are questions to which we may never get clear answers. So now we turn to you, our viewers. What are your thoughts on this mysterious situation? Do you think the area was actually cursed, or is there a more earthly explanation? And what do you make of the police officer's actions? Necessary public service or risky meddling with the unknown? We're eager to hear your opinions on this perplexing tale. Recently, a curious discovery was posted that has captured the attention of many. In the shared image, you can spot a unique rectangular-shaped cloud. It's definitely not something you see every day. For many who saw this post, their minds immediately jumped to scenes from the movie. Nope. This film follows the intriguing story of a brother and sister duo who uncover something deeply unsettling in the skies above their California horse ranch. Meanwhile, a nearby theme park owner sees an opportunity and attempts to capitalize on this strange, otherworldly occurrence. The film had resonated with its audience because it hinted at the idea of covert government operations that might have the capability to manipulate cloud patterns, possibly to conceal UFOs. Naturally, this image sparked a lively debate. Some viewers were convinced that what they saw in the photo was evidence of a secretive government operation at play. They're convinced that there's more to these cloud formations than meets the eye. On the other hand, there's a group of skeptics. They argue that there's a scientific explanation for this peculiar cloud shape. Perhaps it's just a rare atmospheric occurrence or an optical illusion. So what's your take on this? Do you think there's a hidden story behind this unusual cloud, or is it just Mother Nature showing off her creativity? Whatever the case, it's always fascinating when the wonders of nature intersect with our imaginations and popular culture. Here is another haunting trail camera capture that invites more questions than it provides answers. At your first look, you might think you're seeing an ordinary person out for a late-night stroll in the woods. But the more you look, the more unsettling the image becomes. On closer inspection, the figure seems to be wearing some sort of uniform, hinting at a possible motive or occupation, like hunting perhaps. But that's where normalcy ends and the eerie begins. You see, this figure doesn't appear to have a face, giving it a rather ghostly aura. The image challenges our initial assumptions, and we're forced to consider, could this be a paranormal figure? Let's bounce a few ideas around. Is this a wandering spirit caught by the camera? Could it be a shapeshifter mid-transformation, perhaps on a mission of vengeance? Or might this be what some cultures describe as a lost soul, forever roaming the physical realm? It's tough to make a definitive judgment given the nature of what's captured. The image exists at the intersection of what we know and what remains unknown, teasing the boundaries of our understanding of the natural world and whatever may lie beyond it. Now, the most exciting part, what do you think is going on in this perplexing image? Is it easily explainable? Or are we looking at evidence of something beyond our ordinary understanding? A few months back, a Reddit user who goes by the name Little Space Moki posted a video that really got people talking. The video was shot on September 29, 2022, and shows something pretty intriguing. A mysterious object floating past the moon. Now, this isn't just any object. It's shaped like a disc, reminding a lot of us of those classic alien flying saucers we've seen in movies and comics. Apparently, the video was shot using some high-quality, professional-grade equipment, and it's said to have been filmed somewhere in China. As you can imagine, this footage spread like wildfire on Reddit. People couldn't stop talking about it. Comments were coming in by the hundreds. Everyone was trying to figure out what they were seeing. Is it real, or is it just an elaborate hoax? Some folks were skeptical, saying it all seemed a bit too perfect, almost like a scene from a sci-fi movie. They were questioning whether it could really be genuine. But on the flip side, there were people who pointed out that creating a fake video of this quality would be really tough. They argued that if someone tried to use CGI to make it, the video would probably end up looking more artificial. And that brings us to another interesting question. With so many people around the world constantly watching and recording the moon, why haven't more sources come forward to confirm this sighting? You'd think that if something that extraordinary happened, other cameras would have caught it too, right? This next clip is a little different, but it caught my attention while researching this video. Originating from South America, the video was uploaded to TikTok by a user named Edward Ramirez. At the start, you wouldn't think much of it. A woman is casually walking downstairs from her apartment, minding her own business. But then things take a turn for the mysterious. Out of nowhere, a transparent figure wearing a white dress emerges from the top right corner of the screen. She stays there for a moment, as if contemplating something, and then vanishes into thin air. But wait, there's more. Shortly after the figure disappears, a chair slides across the floor all by itself. Now, for those who are familiar with South American folklore, this might ring a bell. The White Lady is a well-known character in these stories, often depicted as a ghostly or supernatural being. She's usually dressed in white and roams around isolated spots like graveyards, ruins, or desolate roads. Depending on the specific country and its cultural traditions, the tales of the White Lady might differ. However, one common thread is that her appearance is often seen as an omen of bad news, or even death. The origins of the White Lady legend in South America are a bit murky, and that adds to the intrigue. It's widely believed that these stories have been passed down through generations, mostly through word of mouth. Some historians think that the concept of the White Lady was actually introduced to the region by European settlers, specifically from Spain and Portugal, and that it's a blend of native beliefs and colonial influences. Interestingly, the White Lady isn't unique to South American folklore. She appears in various cultural stories across the world, including Europe, where she's been a part of local legends for centuries. So, whether you believe in ghosts or not, this chilling footage and the story behind it are enough to make even the skeptics pause and wonder. The footage was captured by a home security camera and then uploaded to Twitter. Where it originally came from is still a mystery, but as soon as it hit the internet, it spread like wildfire across various social media platforms. The video shows two misty shapes gliding through a yard, and they're pretty eerie to look at. They resemble floating figures dressed in what could either be robes or maybe tattered rags. It's hard to tell. But here's the kicker. These mysterious shapes seem to have an effect on the camera's motion detection system. As they move through the yard, the lights come on, clearly suggesting that whatever these shapes are, they're substantial enough to trigger the sensors. And when they vanish from the frame, the lights switch off, and the camera transitions into its night vision mode. This adds another layer to the mystery, implying that there was definitely something in that yard. Something big enough to set off the motion detectors. The frustrating part is, no one has any clue where or when this footage was taken. That makes it incredibly difficult to dig deeper and explore the history of the property where this all went down. Could it be a prank, an optical illusion, or something genuinely unexplained? Here is another piece of trail camera footage that demands your attention, both for its chilling nature and the questions it raises. The owner of the camera set it up in a wooded pathway, likely expecting to capture some wildlife or even trespassers. What they found instead has the air of something far odder. If you review the footage carefully, and perhaps you might want to watch it a second or even third time, you'll see a shadowy white figure flitting through the woods, partially obscured by trees. This isn't your garden variety glitch or smudge on the lens. The movement is too deliberate, the form too distinct. The immediate question that springs to mind is, what could this figure be? Your initial instinct might lean towards something supernatural. A ghost perhaps, or some other form of spirit. Skeptics among you might suspect some kind of camera trickery. Yet the footage itself seems too authentic for such dismissals. The concept of encountering a ghostly figure is deeply captivating. Throughout human history, tales of ghosts, spirits, and other supernatural entities have permeated cultural narratives worldwide. These stories are not confined to one region or era, but are a global phenomenon that transcends boundaries. This begs the question, could there be a grain of truth in these age-old stories? And if so, could this footage be part of that larger tapestry? So what's your take on this? Do you think the footage captures something truly supernatural, or are there other options that we should consider? Given the other seemingly realistic ghostly images we've discussed on this channel, where does this one fit in? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.